Good to see you. Hello, come on in. It's that time. Hi, I'm Rev Debbie McDonnell. It's my joy to be with you here this morning. Dr. Christian and Callie and Trevor are off on vacation, a much-needed R&R. They're in Costa Rica. He says it's terrible, 80 degrees, sunny, awful. He's just having an awful time there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Before we get started, I want to just take a moment to introduce our practitioner. The practitioner will be holding the light for us today, Kathleen McMillans-Lee. And so what happens here at Seaside that you probably noticed, yes, you can clap for Kathleen. She has been a practitioner for many, many years here at Seaside, 23 years. So, yes. Those that have long time service here, we're so grateful for. So our practitioner holds the light, and what that means is they're just holding the vessel, they're holding the consciousness. They anchor us by sitting in that back chair, they anchor the service today and all that goes on, and they're holding the consciousness. And our practitioners are always available for prayer after service. And you can also write a written prayer request and put it in the prayer request chest where Kathleen is sitting. Those get distributed out confidentially, and your prayer is prayed on for a few weeks. But today is a special day. It's the last Sunday of the month where we have our wall of prayer. So after service today, we'll have a wall of prayer. The practitioners will come forward. You can come forward and receive a prayer. We call them a 1-minute miracle. You come on up and get a prayer, and they're short and quick and sweet. All you need to do is just tell the practitioner your name and what you'd like prayer for. And that's how that works. Oh, let's see. I've got my notes on what it is I'm supposed to talk about and what it is I'm supposed to do. Before we welcome everybody out here for our congregational song, I just want to let you know that I was here at Seaside. Those of you that don't know me, I was here for 15 years before I went away. Thank you very much. I took a senior minister position in Monterey Center for Spiritual Living, and that's where I was for the last 3 years. And Dr. Christian has invited me to come back here, so I'm back here for a little while, filling in as your Director of Finance and Operations, and giving Dr. Christian a little bit of a break. It was 3 years ago, Thanksgiving weekend, that I spoke last. So 3 years, here I'm back. So glad to be back, and I look forward to getting to know all of you that I don't know. But right now, what I'm going to ask you to do is please stand and greet your neighbor, and please remain standing.
All right, we've done this one many times. We're gonna sing along. You know it's Seaside.
I used to think that I
Rebecca Jade. We're glad to have you back home.
Thank you.
Back in the house. It's good to have you. At this time, I would like to introduce our practitioner of the day, the practitioner that is here with us on the pulpit that'll be setting the tone for our service today with an invocation. Practitioner David Yankaskis.
Good morning. Just what I share with you a little bit this morning. Just wanted to. This is the beginning of the week for Thanksgiving, and we Seaside practitioners. Our calling is to serve, and without you, we can't do that. And so we just wanted to give you a big hand and thank you for coming into us, coming with us. Thank you. So let us go into the silence. Perfect God within us, perfect life within us, which is God. Come forth into expression through us for that which we are. Lead us ever into the paths of perfection and cause us to see only the good. That good is God. That good is omnipresent. That good is infinite, eternal. That good that I call God is the ever-present substance in which we live, move, and have our being. For God is love, and love has no desire other than to bless each and every one of us alike and express itself through us. So let us allow that love to flourish within so that we can express it this Thanksgiving.
God is real. God is magnificent. God is light. God is love. I am real. I am magnificent. I am light. I am love. We are real. We are magnificent. We are light. We are love.
Good morning, Seaside. My name is Carolyn Holder, and I've been a part of this blessed community for over 20 years. And so it's my joy this morning to welcome all of you here on this pre-Thanksgiving Sunday celebration. How wonderful it is to see you here and to be able to enjoy the service together. So do we have anybody here that might be first-timers at Seaside? Oh, we might have one or two I see in the back. So thank you for being here this morning and sharing your light with us. We have a gift for you. We have a welcome packet that's out in the family room. So please make sure that you pick that up before you leave. And also, we invite you to stay after service to mix and mingle with all of our friendly congregants so that we have an opportunity to get to know you. So thank you very much for being here today. I'm really excited because, speaking of being here today, we have our beautiful Reverend Debbie McDonnell with us, sharing her light and love with us. And she's going to be giving a wonderful message on the grateful heart. So let's give Debbie a round of applause before you even start for being back home at Seaside. So this morning I've chosen a reading from somebody that I've been enjoying and following. It's Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he wrote a blog recently that is entitled Thanksgiving and the Authentic Gratitude. And he begins his blog with asking the question, why is it so hard for the majority of us to really feel gratitude? After giving it some thought, Dr. Dispenza says, it dawned on me that most people don't actually feel authentic gratitude in their daily life. When people say thank you, they're doing so by operating out of an unconscious program. While they may be saying thank you, they lack the awareness and allowance to actually feel gratitude for a long period of time for it to have an effect. And why is this important? Because it's the emotion of gratitude that's carrying the thought. And we now know that the feelings of gratitude actually has dramatic effects on our bodies, including strengthening the immune system and upregulating genes. When you see someone who authentically feels gratitude, whether they're feeling grateful for the morning mist or a hot shower, the sun setting over the ocean, or receiving a gift, you can witness them having an energetic experience. Something shifts in them. Some veneer, facade, imagine they project, or an image that they project to the world about themselves. Instead of going on autopilot, a person experiencing gratitude will pause in the present moment and really feel the expansiveness of the emotion and follow it with a kind word or thought. A person who lives in gratitude for the simple things in life has made it a habit. I find it ironic, however, that so many people spend their days constantly focusing on what they don't have. Instead, they should be focusing on feelings of gratitude for all the things they're creating, all the things in their lives that are working and are actually worth feeling grateful for. When we're living in a program of survival, it's very hard to feel grateful, and this takes away our awareness to see what is right in front of us. A person may have 10 great things happening in their life, but instead they focus on the one thing that's not working, because that's what we do in survival. We prepare for the worst case scenario so they don't happen again. With Thanksgiving and the holidays on their way, it's a great time to start focusing our gratitude on the wonderful things we do have in our life, rather than the things we don't. So many of us have been hypnotized into waiting for something outside of us to make us feel better, whether it's a drug, a person, a job, a shopping spree, or playing video games. This causes us to become conditioned and dependent on our outer world to change how we feel in our inner world. So think about the feelings of gratitude you would experience if some problem in your life was resolved, whether it's a health condition, a relationship problem, a job dynamic, or whatever it is that's keeping you at the same level of consciousness you're currently in. By feeling and practicing gratitude in your breaking days, you're in a state to receive. You are in an energy that is drawing something to you on a moment-to-moment basis. This is the next evolution of your greatest understanding of where you want to be, and it all starts with gratitude. And why is that? Because gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. So happy Thanksgiving and happy thanks receiving. And so it is.
Yeah, what a great start. Get the messages flowing beautifully. Good morning, Seaside. It is my honor to introduce our guest artists. And this morning we have a brand new guest. She's never been here to Seaside. And so we just hope that you're moved by her music and her beautiful spirit and her energy. She's just amazing. And if you want to see more about, learn more about her, check out her website. It's mercedesmooreband.com. And she's also on all social media. And so let's give a warm Seaside welcome to Mercedes Moore.
It's actually my second time because I was here this morning, so
Oh, that's true.
no longer a newbie.
You got an hour in, right?
Are you guys awake? Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
Need me call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you.
I set you free. I told you you can always count on me, darling. That day, oh, I made a vow. I'll be there when you need me some way, somehow. Baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. No, no, baby.
No wind, no rain, no winds cold can stop me, baby.
Come no, darling.
'Cause you are mine,
If you're in trouble, I'll be there on the double. Just say
love is a tide way down in my heart, although we are miles apart.
if you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double, just as fast as I can. And baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you.
Mercedes Moore!
Thank you guys so much.
All right, Mercedes and Rebecca. Oh, I missed the music at Seaside, I'll tell you. There's nothing like Seaside music. You know what they say? You come for the music and stay for the message, right? Our Seaside band, you know. Yay. Oh, thank you, David, for anchoring us so beautifully in prayer. And thank you, Carolyn, for your reading. Thank you for setting the tone. You know, Joe Dispenza is talking about exactly what it is that we're going to be talking about today, that vibration of gratitude, a grateful heart, a grateful heart. There's a video that's going around right now on Facebook. It's like gone viral. And so you might have seen it, but it's a video that one of the churches put together, and it's about gratitude. And it's this young family, and they wake up in the morning, and they're all wrapped in this wrapping paper, and they poke their heads out, and the husband sees his wife, and he says, "Honey, you're here. I'm so grateful." And she says, "Oh, I'm so grateful that you're here." And he gets out of bed, and he flips on the light switches, and he's like, "Honey, we have lights. We have lights. We have electricity." And he goes into the bathroom to brush his teeth and turns on the water faucet. And, "We've got water. We've got water." I'm so excited, goes downstairs with the kids, and on the table there's a gift, and he opens the gift, and it's his breakfast. It's like, "Oh my gosh, food. We have food." And he puts on his shoes. "I'm so grateful for my shoes," and goes outside, and I have a car, and he's just grateful for every little thing. How many of us are waking up that way in the morning, right? Grateful that we're waking up, that we're breathing in and out, that we have air to breathe, that the skies are clear, that our family's there, that there's food in the refrigerator. All those things that we have been grateful for. As Carolyn's reading, Joe Dispenza said, are we focusing on what we don't have, or remembering all the things we do have? We have so much. We have so much to be grateful for. Some people are always grumbling because roses have thorns. I am thankful that thorns have roses. Right? How are we seeing the world? How are we perceiving our world? Are we focusing on lack and limitation? Are we focusing on our abundance? Are we a half glass empty person? Or are we a half glass half full person? I think we all know people that are in both of those categories, right? The Eeyores of our lives, and then we have those that are just always positive. They're always upbeat. They're always seeing the good in everything. The silver lining is always there. The sun is always, shining. There's always something good to be found. And then we're in that vibration of gratitude. We're in that vibration that comes about when we're in that place of being grateful for what we have. 25,000 years ago, Plato said, "When you feel grateful, you become great, and eventually great things happen." Plato, 25,000 years ago. So this whole idea of gratitude is not new, right? It didn't just start with Oprah. It didn't just start with, doing our gratitude journals. This thing with gratitude's been around for a long time. Give thanks in all things. Give thanks in all things, and to have that place. And so why do we do that? Why is it suggested that we give thanks? I think it's Eckhart Tolle who says, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that would be enough. And why is that? Because as we bask in that attitude of gratitude, we become a vibrational match to that. We activate the law. We activate that law of receiving. Thanks receiving, as Carolyn said. We open up to receive that. We are in that place of praising and blessing. In 1949, Ernest Holmes gave one of his radio talks on Thanksgiving, on the subject of Thanksgiving. And for those of you that don't know, Ernest Holmes is the founder of religious science. And back in the day, he had a radio show. And this particular one was on Thanksgiving. And he started it out by telling this story. He says, Mrs. Luther Burbank told me that her husband, who Luther Burbank was a famous botanist, he used to talk to his plants and tell them exactly what he planted them to do. A friend of mine who trained the famous dog Strongheart, who was in the silent film, so maybe before our time, but the famous dog Strongheart, he talks to his animals just as surely as you and I talk with each other. And just as surely do they respond. And then Ernest says, there is a principle here. If plants and animals and children respond to praise, why won't everything else? Why won't everything else? That principle of praising and raising, we do that sometimes in our centers. We praise you and raise you. We raise you and praise you. And that's that thing that we see in our animals. I mean, when you come home and you praise your dog or your cat or whatever it is, they respond. IKEA did an experiment. The IKEA company did an experiment a few years ago with plants. They took 2 plants and they put them in these like a lycra boxes. And they had the students at the school and themselves, they recorded on this continuous loop things to say to the plants. And one of the plants, the recording was being bullied. All the things they said was bullying the plant, telling it was no good, telling it looked terrible, and so on and so forth. And the other tape was praising the plant. It was on a continuous loop of praise. And they left that there for 30 days. And the students could come up, and the students could look at it, and the students could talk to either plant, over these 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, what do you think they found? The plant that had been bullied had withered and died. The exact same plant that had been praised was in all its glory. It was green and beautiful and growing and upright. The same principle that applies to plants and animals applies to us. I mean, have you ever seen a child who is being not necessarily bullied, but perhaps not praised, not blessed? And they're downturned in their sadness. And then another child who's praised and they're just so happy and beaming, right? The same for us. The same for us. We can be praised and blessed. Reverend Diane Harmony is one of our New Thought ministers, one of our religious science ministers. She actually was at Seaside years ago. And Reverend Diane was moving out of her office when I was first coming into Seaside. And she was gone on to do all sorts of wonderful things. But she wrote a book. One of the books she wrote has become one of our classes and part of our curriculum on prosperity. And it is called The 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life. And what Reverend Diane says in that book is she says a couple things that I'm going to talk to you about. But the first thing that she says is that the first of the 5 gifts is gratitude. Give gratitude first in all things, she says. See, we don't give gratitude after we get the thing. First, we give thanks. We give thanks first. We're thankful for what we haven't even seen yet. We just know it. It's a tool of our faith of knowing that, in fact, we will have it. And we're so grateful to know that we do. She gives lots of good reasons to practice this whole idea of gratitude in her book. She says, through giving this gift, you name your entire life a blessing. You name your entire life a blessing. Everything, the seemingly good and the seemingly bad. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Gratitude, she says, is a love vibration. Who doesn't want to be in a love vibration, right? To give gratitude, you're in that good vibration of love. Gratitude is a distiller of emotions. So when we're troubled, when our mind is in worry, when we're feeling less than perfect, we can turn to gratitude. You can start to name the things you're grateful for. And you know what? There's a peace that comes in focusing again on what it is that you do have, not the problem, but the things that you do have. Gratitude is the great multiplier. The great multiplier. It's an increase. It increases our good. When you attend to something in gratitude, the metaphysical law is activated. And that's that law that Joe Dispenza is talking about. We're in that vibration. We're in that vibration. Last but not least, gratitude disengages your panel of internal judges. Who has the committee? Right? And when we go into gratitude, quiet. They quiet down. So wonderful, wonderful reasons to practice, our gratitude muscle, to practice this tool, to practice this principle that Ernest Holmes talks about. Richard Carlson, he wrote the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And in the book, he tells a story of a man in one of his talks. A man had come to his talk, and the man had said to him, he wanted to know what people were like in California. He asked Richard, and Richard said, well, I don't know. What are people like where you're from? And the man said, well, they're very stingy and greedy. And Richard Carlson said to him, well, I think you'd find the people in California very stingy and greedy too, right? Because what we're seeing is that which we believe, right? And so if our belief is that life is bad and we have no good, then that's what we're seeing. No matter where we go, we're taking that with us. The common denominator in any situation is us, right? Sometimes that's a hard one to grasp because it's got to be someone else's fault, right? Can't be mine. Can't have anything to do with me. But no, what we're looking at is what we're seeing. If we're looking for mean, nasty, stingy people, we're going to find them. If we're looking for wonderful, loving, kind, open people, that's what we're going to find. The Dalai Lama wrote a book, The Art of Happiness. It's a lovely book. If you haven't read it, I'm sure we have it in our bookstore. The Art of Happiness. The Dalai Lama, he talks about two people that he knew. And one of them was a young woman, a woman who was a nurse. And she was a young nurse, and she was just starting out on her nursing career. And she got an opportunity to become part of a small startup company, a small medical startup company. And she decided to leave her nursing career and go with this company. She joined these two gentlemen and became the third partner in this small medical startup company. And very quickly, the company became a great success. And it grew. And it grew, and soon it was bought out by a larger corporation, and she had lots of stock options, and she became very wealthy. She was able to retire at 32 years old with all kinds of money in the bank. And about 3 years later, after this had happened, she ran into the Dalai Lama again. They had a chance to meet, and the Dalai Lama asked her how her life had changed, what it was like now that she had all this wealth. And she said, well, you know what, after the initial excitement of having all that money, I bought a house, and I traveled, and I did some things, life's pretty much the same. Things have calmed down, and it's pretty much the same. And then there was another gentleman that the Dalai Lama knew. He was a young man, and he contracted the HIV virus. And a year after contracting the virus, the Dalai Lama had an opportunity to see this young man again, and he asked him, what has changed in your life over the last year? And the young man said, oh my gosh, my life is amazing. I wake up every day and I am so grateful to be alive. The symptoms have not advanced. I'm still able to work. I'm still very healthy. I have my friends and my family. I've met so many people that are so supportive and so loving and so kind. Life is fantastic, right? Here we have two people with very different perspectives on things that we think, I'm going to get all this money and my life's going to be great, right? Or I'm going to contract this disease and my life will be terrible. No, it all has to do with our attitude. Are we in that place of gratitude for what we have? Are we amplifying that vibration? Are we living in that vibration of gratitude and love, blessings and praise? Blessings and praise, are we blessing it? A great life starts with a great mind. A blessed life starts with a blessed mind. Then I like this one. It says, we choose whether our life is messed up or blessed up. Right? Which one is? Is it messed up or blessed up? We get to choose. One of the great things about religious science, and maybe one of the not so great things, depending on your perspective, is we no longer can be victims. There's no victim here. Right? We choose. We're at choice. Is our life messed up or blessed up? Which one is it? I have two children. Most of you know that. My kids were raised at Seaside. They were raised here at Seaside. I found Seaside when my children were very little, and I was looking for a place. My husband at the time and I were looking for a place to share what we believed with our children. And so we found Seaside when Callie and Christian had just adopted Trevor. He was very little, and we were still over on 2nd Street. And we started coming, and my children grew up in this movement. So they grew up with these principles. Although they didn't go to teen camp, they didn't, as they got to a certain age, they didn't come to a Sunday service, and we allowed them to find their own way, although the two of them are the best religious scientists you ever could know, although they wouldn't tell you that's what it was. But when they were little, my daughter was she still is. She's a musical theater major in college. She's a musical theater person. She loves musical theater. Do any of you have theater kids? If you have theater kids, you know what I'm talking about. They live, breathe, sleep, eat theater. And so that was Brianna, and she used to listen to every Broadway show tune that there ever was. When she was a little girl, I said she was born into a musical, She would dance and she would sing with her Barbies and her dolls, and as she's getting dressed and her hair, you thought, she was writing her own musical throughout the day. She just lived in this place of musical theater. She has a brother who's 3 years younger than her, and he is an athlete, but he knows the show tunes. We all do because we heard him so often. We can sing all the Broadway show tunes. Well, he was a sophomore in high school when his sister went off to college, and we all kind of thought, we're going to get a little break from the show tunes, because this girl did sing 24/7, and we thought, okay, we're going to have a little bit of break. But what I discovered about my son was that he loved hip hop. He loved rap music. Wasn't my favorite. That what I had heard of rap was kind of nasty, and the words weren't so nice, and there were some words that I didn't really like, and I really didn't want to put this into my consciousness, and he'd get in the car with me, and he'd say, Mom, can I plug in my iPod? And I'd be like, oh, but he said, but Mom, no, there's some good rap songs that have some really good messages. So our agreement was that he could play his iPod as long as he played ones that had good messages. And you know what I came to find? That there is a lot of rap music with some really good messages. And there's one that I particularly love, and him and I use it kind of as our little thing together. Chance the Rapper is a 26-year-old young man now from Chicago, from the streets of Chicago, and his music is beautiful. But the song that we particularly like goes like this. It goes, when the praises go up, the blessings come down. When the praises go up, the blessings come down. And the blessings keep falling in my lap. Right? That's Chance the Rapper. That's the chorus of his song. And it's so true. Isn't that a spiritual principle? When the praises go up, the blessings come down. Our job is just to send the praises, and the blessings keep falling in our lap. In Raymond Hollowell's book, the Working with the Law. It's a great book. It's one of our old New Thought books, but it's a great book, a great read. He talks about 11 of the spiritual laws that we work with. And one of them is the law of increase. And Raymond Hollowell says in the book that we might as well call the law of increase the law of praise. The law of praise, because that's how it works. As we're praising, as we're raising and praising, we're increasing in our life. Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who's the founder or the father, he's called the father a lot of times of New Thought. So again, these ideas are not new. And there's only one place in our Science of Mind textbook that Ernest Holmes uses the word gratitude, which I thought was really interesting. He doesn't use that word a lot. The only place he uses it is toward the back of the book in the section called Constant Prayer. And this is what he says. In everything give thanks. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. How we love to do for those who cooperate with and are grateful for our small endeavors. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with the consciousness of unity. That's the only place he uses the word gratitude, but he uses many, many times throughout the text the word blessing and blessed. Blessing and blessed. When we constructively praise and creatively bless, life abounds with love, peace, and joy. That's Ernest Holmes. So by praising and raising and blessing all those things in our life, we create more of that. When we get together with our families or our friends, or Seaside Thursday has a Thanksgiving meal to share with all of you if you're wanting a place to be with like-minded people. Remember all that you have. Bless all that you have. Take your focus off what's not there or who might be missing from the Thanksgiving table and give thanks for those that are there. I want to end with a little bit of the Thanksgiving talk that Ernest gave. It goes like this. He says, take time each day to say, I bless every member of my family. I bless my husband. I bless my wife. I praise my children. I bless everything that they are doing. Bless the gifts you make to people. Bless the friends you have. If you are in business, bless your business. Bless the customers that come in. Bless the goods that go out. Bless everyone working with you or around you. And don't forget to bless your own efforts, and it shall prosper and multiply and increase and return to you 100-fold. And here is one more thought I would like to add. Give thanks even for those things which you do not see. Blessed are they who have not seen and still believe. Bless the faith that is in you, and it will grow. It will bloom like the rose bush. Bless the unused talents that you possess, and a new way of doing things will come into your experience. There is no way that God can work for us other than by working through us. And if we reject the gift of life, if we refuse to accept it, how can we ever hope to hold it in our hands? God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving week. So grateful that you're here today. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings. Blessings. Let's welcome back to the stage Mercedes.
What a word, huh? Beautiful, Rev Deb.
Thank you. I heard some really good stuff back there. Some good hashtags, if I remember. Anyway, this is a song by India Ari. It's a song about meditation. And I was telling Rebecca that it was great that I had to keep rehearsing this song because I haven't been on my meditation game. And so every time I rehearsed, it was reminding me. So this is good. All good. See, all things come together for good.
Aw, how sweet. Thank you. What a blessing. You know, we are so blessed with the music here at Seaside, truly. You know, Monterey was a very small center, and there were so many things that I took for granted, you know, like the band, these amazing musicians, you know. We really are blessed. We're blessed to have it all. Thank you very much. I believe it is the time of our service for our offering. I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward. Who do we have? Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. It's very good to see you. Hello. Yeah, look, we got a whole bunch. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Wow, look at all of you. What a blessing. See, we are very prosperous. So, just turning within. Knowing and feeling and sensing that one power and that one presence, knowing that it is God and that it is good and that it is absolute abundance, knowing that there is no lack or limitation in God's world, that there's absolute divine flow moving in, through, and as each one of us and all of Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that we're absolutely sourced to do all the work that we've been called to do in the world, that there is a multitude, an absolute abundance of riches and wealth and prosperity, talent and treasure moving through our doors and through our whole entire community. I am so grateful for it all. I just let it be. And together, let us say our affirmation, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Members of your board of trustees. Oh, we're just giving thanks for all that's been given, knowing that it absolutely multiplies, that there is more than enough to do all that we need to do, that there's an absolute flow that moves in, through, and as each and every activity, each and every ministry, each and everything that happens here at Seaside, knowing that we are absolutely blessed by an abundant good. We just let it be, and so it is. Yay. Oh, good to be back with the Seaside family. Yes, I want to thank everybody who makes Sunday possible, and it is a big team. It really is a big team that comes together. Thank you to our band. Thank you, led by Bob Mathis. Thank you to Rebecca Jade, our songstress, and Mercedes. Grateful. We hope we see you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, David, for anchoring us so beautifully, and our invocation, Carolyn, for your assistance on the pulpit today. Thank you. Thank you to Marv, who does our PowerPoints and our slides. Thank you to Matt for sound. So grateful that you're here. Thank you to all of you that said yes, our ushers and greeters, and everybody that makes it possible. It does take a village. Kathleen Lees, thank you very much for holding us in light today. Thank you. Let's see. Tree trimming is Saturday. Can you believe it? Saturday the 30th. Dr. Christian will be back. He says he's bringing a big pot of his non-award winning chili. He brings it every year, but it's good. You know, he's just got tough competition. So he'll be here with his chili. So come on out on the 30th and help decorate our holiday tree. Also, on Thanksgiving Day, Dr. Tillotson is here. There's a service. There's the ceremony's at noon. Dinner's at 1. Ceremony first, dinner afterwards at 1. Sign-up table in the family room for all the goodies and things that need to be brought for that day. So check it out. Even if you don't plan on coming for the meal, maybe you can bring a pie or a side dish or something for everybody else and share your blessings with the world. Karen Copeland is in the back. She is still accepting money. I think we have enough bicycles, but the Community Resource Center, we're collecting for the families in need in our neighborhood. See Karen, she's back there. Thanksgiving, tree trimming. Oh, Wednesday night. There's no service here on Wednesday night. Our Wednesday night conversation will not be here just this week. Dr. Christian will be back next week. But this week is the interfaith service at Bethlehem Lutheran on Balboa. So it's all... on Belor, what did I say? Oh, Belor, yes, on Belor. So very close to here, just around the corner. All the interfaith ministers, or it's lots of them, come together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful service. If you've never attended it, it's a night before Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful time to just be in gratitude. There's flyers and all that out in the family room as well. And I think that is it for what I need to tell you about that. And so at this point, we're going to pray. We're going to pray. It is our Wall of Prayer Sundays, the last Sunday of the month. Again, our practitioners will be up here for you for prayer after service. So after we sing our songs, just come on up. I'm going to invite our practitioners to come forward now. If you just stand in preparation and prepare to receive. So just turning within. Knowing and feeling and sensing that one power and that one presence, that is God, that is good, that is love, that is perfect unfoldment. I'm knowing that Spirit is all that there is. There is nothing, absolutely nothing but God. God is all that is happening here. There's not God and anything else. There's only Spirit. There's only God. There's only love. And I know that I am one with this source. I know that I am one with all that is. And just as I know that this is true for me, I know it's true for each one here. I know that each one is a perfect individualized expression of the divine. Perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now, exactly as they are. There's nothing that's broken, nothing that needs to be fixed, nothing to do but just to reveal that divine presence that is already there. And I know and I claim for each one a perfect unfoldment of their lives, knowing that Spirit goes before them and makes straight any crooked places. I'm knowing that anything that looks less than health and wholeness just dissipates back into the nothingness from which it came. I'm knowing any kind of discord in relationships is healed, that there's a love and a coming together. I'm knowing for anybody that is sad or feeling depression in this time of the holidays, that they are uplifted, that they are given all that they need to walk through this time, that they know that they have a community here at Seaside where they can come together and be with like-minded people, be together with those that experience the divine. So grateful to be part of it all. I'm knowing for Seaside Center for Spiritual Living that it is a place of divine unfoldment. It is a place where Spirit is felt. It is a place of love and light, knowing that it is a sanctuary. It is a place of safety. It is a place for all those to come, to heal, to uplift, to be part of this spiritual community. So grateful to be a part of Centers for Spiritual Living, knowing that we are creating a world that works for everyone. So grateful to be part of it all, with a heart full of gratitude and joy for the blessings that have been given and those that I haven't even seen yet. I just release these words into the divine action of the law, knowing that it is already done, knowing there's nothing left to do but just allow it to be. The seed has been planted, and so it is. God bless you.
There was a time in my life I
of life. Let's do that together. I am grateful for all of life. Let's do it one more time for Dr. Christian. I am grateful for all of life.
Song of Grace. I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears. In this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Yeah, Seaside.
Come on forward for a prayer with our practitioners, the wall of prayer. Come on up.